Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today on Chilies and Peppers episode number 8, we're looking at New Mexico chilies. So I didn't have enough planning or foresight to shoot this material when they were abundant in stores, fresh ones, green and red and overflowing from the bins back in October. So I just did what I usually do, is get these frozen ones that are already roasted, peeled, and chopped. So I'll show some photos of the box and the little frozen plates, tiles, bricks, whatever they are, as I buy them online in 5-pound batches. I usually get both medium and hot, and that's what I have here, the medium and the hot. And let's see. After they're no longer frozen, then you get a bag of stuff like this that you need to use up pretty quickly. So this has a bunch of chucks on it for, lots of options. Medium, mild, hot, X-hot, chopped, or whole. There's also a note here, cook to 165F before eating. So that sort of suggests they're using a more industrial process than a food processing process. So they're saying there could be pathogens here that you need to kill before eating. So this salsa, I'm going to be tasting the peppers as is, as thawed, and then in a salsa that hasn't been cooked. So if I get sick, it's my own fault, and we'll miss a couple video weeks maybe. So that's the medium, and then they have a hot one. Bag's going to look the same. And they don't have all the check marks for hot and blah and blah and blah. It just says hot hatch green chili. Oh yeah, that's another thing. This particular brand or store or online presence is called the Hatch Chili Store. And I don't know, Hatch County, there's something Hatch about some spot in New Mexico. But all the chilies in this part of New Mexico just have that terroir. I don't think there's anything special about Hatch. But there is something special about New Mexico. The chilies that grow there are revered by the locals, and they are a big deal. And that's why I import them to Louisiana. And I will pay more attention to the seasons for getting the fresh ones in the future, because they were all over the place and I missed it. So my second choice is to just get, this is how I use them. I make a lot of chili with beef, and then I make a pork and hominy stew with these things, both the hot ones and the mild ones, and I really load it up with this and keep out some of the other things that might be able to take over. So a little less cumin or a little less onion or other things in the chili, but I like this as the main flavoring ingredient. So we'll just go through and taste. So I don't know if I should use a fork or a spoon to get these, but you can tell there's little black specks in here from the roasting. So it's very wet, not salty. There's a little bit of heat. You can tell it's a green bell pepper relative. It's got that green, herbaceous, peppery note. And then the heat here is pretty mild. It's got that caramely cooked and roasted taste that I like. So these come with a few seeds, and I don't ever find much skin except for the black spots that stick. So this is a really nice flavor, and even the medium ones vary from a little milder to a little hotter, and it's just got that good green, peppery, roasted flavor. So this would be really nice in the background in some sort of stew featuring chicken or beef or pork, or totally veggie chili or stew can be made from this, would have very interesting flavors. I just can't stick them. Let me get this a little more on camera. So this, I don't think these are salted at all, but very flavorful. And some pieces seem to be hotter than other pieces. So I think the biological variation from chili to chili is showing up in here. It's a tiny minor difference. But that is flavorful. That's the flavor I'm after. And I can't quite describe. Well, let me have Mark Miller do it. The Great Chili book by Mark Miller has been my guide for years and years. And he has a section on fresh chilies. So here's his page on New Mexican green. He describes the size, 6 to 9 inches long, inch and a half to 2 inches in diameter. Medium flesh varies considerably in strength from medium to very hot. Flavor is unlike that of any other chili in North America, sweet and earthy. Yeah, I can see that. With a clarity that seems to reflect the skies and landscapes of New Mexico. This guy's biased, he lives there. He's one of the locals that reveres these. But it is a good description. It is hotter and has a cleaner, more cutting flavor, chili flavor than the Anaheim. Yes, it is available fresh almost year-round. Not where I live. I might have to move to New Mexico. Anyone who's been into Santa Fe in the fall knows that these chilies are roasted in huge quantities at that time of year when the bulk of the crop is in. They freeze well, and frozen New Mexico green chilies are better than canned. I agree. The New Mexico green is excellent in green chili stews, sauces, stews, and salsas, stuffed, and is rajas, and I don't know what that is. Try them roasted and peeled in sandwiches. These also got a page on the red, which is interesting because there's a few red specks in my hot variety. So red's a little different, not quite as hot, not quite as common, but there's just a ripe version of the green one on the page before. So it is a special thing that I go to all this trouble for. It's fairly expensive. I'm thinking something like 80 bucks for 5 pounds shipped to my door. It comes with it's packaged in dry ice, so when I get it, it is still in little frozen bricks or tiles. So I'm going to be using these things for years to come. So I made my standard salsa with fire roasted tomatoes from a can, and then I roasted onions on a grill. I roasted some garlic on that grill, and threw it all together in a good ratio, and then 300 grams of the salsa mixture with 60 grams of the medium hot chilies from New Mexico. Sweetness from the tomato that I always get. Only salt comes from the tomatoes. There's a mild heat and there's a chili note that's I can tell is cooked and caramelized. I don't always detect that it's the chili that's been roasted or caramelized because the onions and the tomatoes contribute their own kind of roasted cooked flavor and caramelized there. But I can tell this is a roasted chili. It's got a very mild heat. The green chili notes are coming through a very modest level in this salsa. I should have put in more. I should have done 80 or 100 grams to the 300 of the base. But I'm liking it. The heat level is also lacking from something I would make and eat every day. So it's hard to get calibrated on these things, but I'm going to keep track and have a whole slew of recipes for good salsas with different chilies and different heat levels. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. And now, before I move on to the hot guys, I'll do a little palate cleanse. I don't know why. It's going to be the same kind of thing, but hotter. Okay, all cleaned up. And now I'm going to take my fork and sample the hotter New Mexico chilies here. So it's hard to get a single piece. Okay, there we go. So I got some specks of red, and it's mostly green. So here goes the hot New Mexico chilies. Okay, definitely hotter, definitely a green chili type flavor. Wow, the heat slowly builds up at the back of my throat. It went there in the front, one there in the middle, and now it's building and building. This is fruity. I had a couple of chunks of red in there. I can't believe that changed at all, but it's fruity, green, herbaceous, and hotter. So, third bite of the chilies. I might put this on a chip. Okay, here goes just chili on a chip. Okay, that works out just fine. So, this is the heat is competing with the caramelized roasted cooked flavors for my attention. So the heat is continuing to build on the back, but at the time of eating, you notice the caramelization and the cooked level less, and you notice the higher heat level more. So definitely the hot ones get your attention, but I've made the mistake of using only the hot ones in some recipes. So I either had too much or too hot, and it was not something I could have served to guests. I like things like that, but I realize they're not for everybody. So I will see if my salsa would be something I could serve to people. Okay, it's not too hot, but I can tell the heat level is higher than the medium chili salsa. And definitely tell it's roasted. It's got the caramely cooked notes, more savory, almost bordering on umami. And the higher heat level that also builds. So it's like coming up from the ground, you're being flooded. You don't realize it at first, and you go, oh wait, it's almost to my neck. Yes, yes, yes. Everything about it's good. It's a pretty good salsa. I would maybe add a little more, add a little cilantro or something, and this would be totally normal and fine. So I'd say best salsa that I've made so far in this series. You cannot label this mild on the jar. You better say medium. So again, this was 300 grams of my base salsa and 60 grams of the hot New Mexico chilies. They're already roasted, chopped, peeled, mostly seeded. So salsa is very successful. Chilies would be a great addition to so many dishes. Hot or medium, either one. And I don't need a cleanse because I'm not eating anymore. But one other way to get some New Mexico chili flavor is just in dried chili powder. It's totally made from New Mexico chilies. So I think this is made from red ones, ripe ones, but I don't know how things work out when you dry them. Maybe they just turn red. But I got this online a couple years back. Maybe I better go through it a little faster so don't lose all the flavor. This also is called Hatch, New Mexico Hatch chili powder. Got it online for, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks. And I've been using it in lots of things to call for chili powder. So I love it. So, hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I request that you please like it down below, give it the thumbs up, leave comments and questions. Leave comments and questions. It's still building. And subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to get notified when the new videos come out. And the next time, I think we'll be looking at jalapenos, which are very popular and can be a bit hotter. So cheers.